This is Camping with You, Chapter 1, a How to Train Your Dragon and Rise of the Guardians crossover / fiction.
It sure is.
It's more than, let's do it. Hiccup dragged his 1 month filled with clothes suitcase up to the steps of an old yellow school bus.
I did.
He blew some of his hair out of his face and finally heaved his bag into the first seat he could find, which was in the 4th row. Thankfully, the bus wasn't crowded yet. With a sigh of annoyance, he glanced out of the window and saw his father walking away down the neatly paved street.
There's nobody out there, but okay.
Giving him only a grin and a wave. Hiccup cringed and lowered himself into the seat, mentally praying that no one would sit next to him. Minutes passed and more kids piled in and also pulling their suitcases with difficulty. Hiccup didn't blame them. It was, after all, a month-long trip in the middle of the woods, near absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere.
His father wanted this. He claimed it was a better experience for surviving in the wild. Hiccup had said no, that he didn't want to waste the summer, and was sent anyway. 2 green emeralds for eyes remained lowered in the dirty bus floors.
That's nasty.
He twiddled his thumbs while he waited for the driver to leave, for the kids to hurry up and get on the bus.
Oh. Where? Originally, Hiccup didn't go out much, which explained his slight paleness. But he had the most handsome freckles lining his cheeks. Aww. A faint blush was always upon his thin face. I have a thin face. Then,
I don't judge.
Of course, there was his even thinner body. Well, I'll give him that. Many people at Hiccup School thought he was bulimic because he hardly ate.
That's not how you
and
spell
was
that
so
word.
thin. That's the wrong eating disorder too. But okay. But honestly, Hiccup just wasn't as hungry as most people. He forgot to eat sometimes because of his hectic schedule.
All aboard!
The woman bus driver screamed, her harsh, high-pitched voice hitting Hiccup's ears first.
We leaving in 7 minutes. 7. Do you hear me?
Hiccup groaned, already disliking the idea of being with other people. He had to share a tent. He had to do athletic activities. Oh, really? Athletic activities?
Activities.
Oh. And he had to try not to come home with bruises. Great.
His eyes lowered out of the window in a bored fashion as the loud bus driver went on and on about safety procedures that Hiccup already knew. And the emergency exits are in the front, on the windows, and in the back of the bus. To open the window, you push forward using your... Sorry I'm late. A boy wearing a blue indigo hoodie. Blue indigo. First of all, is azul.
Just read on.
But whatever. Hoodie over his head shoved past the door as he continued speaking and looked around for an empty seat. His eyes, which were covered with covered by sunglasses,
Would you be wearing sunglasses?
Turned to Hiccup. He mouthed out the word, please, and Hiccup nodded and scooted over with what little space he had left to spare. His gigantic suitcase rested against the bus wall. I'm Jack Frost, the boy breathed, as if he had run 1,000 miles to get there, and held out a hand.
Go. Sorry.
Hiccup shook it. What's up, homie? Noticing how cold it was to the touch, and offered a small smile. The hooded boy did not show his hair.
My turn?
Nope.
Oh.
He did not show his eyes from the sunglasses he wore. He did not show any skin except for his ankles, feet, and flip-flops, neck, and hands. No skin at all, except for the things that most people show. This was interesting to Hiccup. Why?
I guess it was, I don't know.
Go.
I guess not many people wear flip-flops.
Apparently.
Hiccup Horrendous Haddock the Third. Hiccup grimaced. He hated his name. But Jack didn't seem to mind it. That was good. Usually people made fun of his name, or at least laughed a little. Hiccup leaned in... Wait, I can read. leaned back in his uncomfortable seat,
Lean back.
continuing to hear the crabby bus driver screech on and on. Jack sighed and leaned back into his seat as well. He raised his legs on top of the seat in front of him and crossed them comfortably. Yeah, I give up on that word. Jack then proceeded to reach into his pocket and take out an MP3 player. His pale hands raised the earmuffs to his ears. Earmuffs? He turned up the volume to block out all the noise. When the lady was done, she shut the bus doors and sat down in the front seat, buckling herself up and shoving the key into the ignition.
Hubba hubba.
Oh, that just says engine. Whatever.
Well, duh, that's what you do. You put keys in engines.
Yeah,
Stupid.
you put keys in the engines.
You wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Dragon Boy?
Yeah.
Jake Long over here.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm not even American. All right.
Neither was he.
Shh, but he lived in America.
The
The bus rocked into motion, and soon they were off.
It was lunchtime. They had been driving for hours and hours on this stuffy bus. Jack had listened to his music and Hiccup just gazed out the window. You were supposed to pack your own lunch. And stoic Hiccup's father accidentally packed too much for Hiccup to eat. 2 sandwiches, an orange, and candy rested in the brown... Too much right there, tell you. Rested in the brown paper sack.
I can't eat 2 sandwiches, are you kidding me?
YOLO. Hiccup opened it and gaped.
I gaped.
Wondering how he could eat something. Shut up. Everything. His eyes drifted to Jack, who Hiccup couldn't tell if he was sleeping or not because of his sunglasses.
Jack?
The hooded boy looked up and smirked, yanking his ear muffs from his ears and pausing the MP3 player. What's up?
Do you have any lunch?
Hiccup asked, pointing to his overflowing paper sack. When Jack shook his head, Hiccup shrugged and handed him a sandwich. Jack raised an eyebrow and waved the food away.
Be chill, I'm not all that hungry.
What the hell, dude?
I know, I'm sorry. Be chill, Jack.
Be chill. I'm not all that hungry. I'm not all that hungry.
Oh, that was yours. I didn't even... The way that she... Okay. But I have 2.
But, like, you're reading from there now, so...
Hiccup frowned, showing him the contents of the bag. I can't eat 2 sandwiches, see? See, I can't. Would you take it? Jack sighed and offered a smile.
Well, if you insist, I'd better.
He took it and ate it hungrily. And Hiccup watched in surprise. Jack hadn't eaten in days, weeks probably. It was weird because Hiccup was still thinner, and Jack had more muscle.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Hiccup laughed as he bit into his own sandwich. That is a choking hazard.
Worry.
He noticed that... this girl wants to kill me. He noticed that Jack had finished before him and gave him the whole bag. Here, you must be starving. Jack smirked.
I'm not that starving. Not that starving.
He set the bag down in Hiccup's lap and put back in his earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Blocking out the sound again.
Earmuffs.
Hiccup frowned and shoved the sack into his suitcase pocket.
I'll shove your sack somewhere.
I'm sure that's...
The bus driver, I guess?
No, that's a song, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. You want to take this?
Yeah, I actually don't know that song.
Neither. Out on the edge, I'm screaming my name like a fool at the top of my lungs.
I think I know it, but I don't know how it goes.
Right?
So.
Well, the song it kind of came to whatever.
All right.
Go. Yeah.
Hiccup strained his ears.
Prig.
He knew that song. Jack was singing quietly under his breath.
Oh.
And he was rather good.
Well. Want to go back to that or just screw it?
No.
All right. Oh. Sometimes when I close my eyes, I pretend I'm all right, but it's never enough.
It's your turn now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah.
The brunette.
The brunette and go. The brunette, you're a redhead, ma'am. The brunette tapped Jack's icy shoulder and gave him a look. A faint brush spread up to Jack's cheeks. And the corner of his lips turned up. Sorry.
No, don't be. You're good. Hiccup smiled back.
Hiccup smiled back and unzipped his suitcase. I was not ready for that one. Jack watched with interest as he pulled out a sketchbook and a few pencils. What are you doing? He asked, startling his friend.
Huh? Oh, I'm just drawing.
Hiccup opened to the middle page.
Apparently they're friends now.
Yep. He asked, startling his friend, I guess.
Yeah.
Take two. Hiccup opened to the middle page and folded the bind back, preparing himself for what was to appear in his mind to transfer to the worn-down page. No artist thinks that way. Just saying. Jack watched.
If anything, I just start drawing, and something happens.
I mean, I like to draw on ice, but whatever. Jack watched and listened to his music as Hiccup brought down the graphite against the paper. It started off as a simple face, but then it morphs into more and more etching. It looked like a woman. Hiccup's mother. How would Jack infer this? I will never know.
She had died a long time ago, when he was just 3 years old. Shut up.
Oh my god.
Now he was 16. Things changed in his house. His father was harsher on him, and he had to do things right more often. That does say right? The cursor's in for yeah. Like now, for example. Thank you. Jack's mother and father were both killed at the same time. They drowned in a lake after their car steered off the road and into the water.
Oh, no.
When Jack heard about it, he was crushed. Eventually, he realized that he had no other relatives except his uncle. North was a Russian bearded man who worked for a toy company. He was kind, but Jack missed his parents. Hiccup gave Jack a sad smile as he turned to the next page in his sketchbook. Yeah, it was my mother.
I know how you feel. Jack patted his shoulder and turned off his MP3 player, stuffing it into his hoodie pocket. So, you like to draw then? Hiccup nodded. Hey, thanks for letting me sit here, Mr. H. Jack smiled.
Mr. H.
Hiccup laughed.
Uh-huh.
It's you.
Oh. What is that supposed to mean?
Mr. Horrendous. I abbreviated. Did it. Jack shrugged. Hiccup shook his head. Hiccup shook his head playfully and stuffed his drawings back in the suitcase.
I'd rather be called Hiccup if that's okay with you.
How about Hickory? Like the tree. Jack laughed, clutching his stomach.
You think this is funny, don't you? How come you're wearing that stuff?
Hiccup pointed to the hoodie and sunglasses with his index finger and crossed his arms. Sassy.
Wait.
Oh, you're up.
Jack seemed uncomfortable talking about it.
I just don't want to bring attention to myself.
Hiccup peered next to him and saw a giant wooden staff in his ass. I think we're done here.
Oh my god!
Not today, Gabe.